supper and a mother at the best place around. Some stupid with a flare gun burned the place to the ground. Smoke on the water, fire in the sky. Smoke on the water. Burned down the gambling house. It died with an awful sound. Funky and Claude was running in and out, pulling kids out of the ground. But when it all was over, we had to find another place. Swiss time was running out. It seemed that we would lose the race. Smoke on the water, fire in the sky. Smoke on the water.
Buonasera amici miei italiani e buonasera a tutti I fans. Benvenuti al mio programma Rudi Backstage o Rudi Backstage. Questo sarà un dinamite show, un spettacolo esplosivo. Vi voglio bene. Ladies and gentlemen, here I am again, still from my office here in Miami. I invite you for a nice backstage experience. As you see today, I was washing my hair, and because I was a little bit late with everything, I just went here and did it. So, welcome und schönen guten Abend, meine Damen und Herren, in Deutschland, meinem Heimat Österreich natürlich und der Schweiz. Und Sie merken schon, ich habe die Haare offen, da werde ich jetzt dauernd mit den Haaren da herumfuchteln, aber gut. Kann man auch nichts machen. Ich begrüße Sie wie immer zu einer hoffentlich netten Plauderstunde Rudi Backstage oder wie ich es jetzt neu auch nenne, die The Backstage Experience, weil Sie mir ja auf YouTube mit mir auch live chatten können, während Sie das sehen. Bonsoir, mesdames et messieurs, et mes amis et fans français et francophones. Bienvenue dans mon émission Rudi Backstage. Restez avec moi. Ça va être de la dynamite. Je vous aime. And I say buenas noches a todos mis amigos españoles y a todos los fans. Bienvenido a mi programa Rudi Backstage. Esto será una dinamite show, un espectáculo explosivo. Next time, I'm going to do in different languages. One is I'm going to try Mandarin and Czech. If you have another language that you want me to say hello, please send me. And now I say the magic word, backstage.
You wanna know what goes on backstage? Oh, come on. Let me take you by the hand. Ow!
Rudi, are you ready?
Ladies and gentlemen.
The way I see it, Barry, this should be a very dynamite show.
You know, I have no idea what the name of this program is, but you're watching it.
Backstage,
All you ever want,
backstage,
all you ever need.
backstage,
Your dreams will be fulfilled once you are there. You'll never wanna leave. You wanna sell your ass for that backstage pass. Backstage is just for the invited. Backstage, they've laid on everything.
Backstage. Dun, dun, dun. I should actually release this as a single and as a song. I think. And maybe it's gets into the charts. That was always the idea. Anyway, welcome, welcome, welcome. Today, actually, it happens. I know I was announcing it for last week, but for the reasons that you know, so that you have more time, we now talk today about most or of my 32 Queen related videos, as I call them. You know, the reason was that I wanted to give you more time. You still have time because I'm not gonna do the drawing. And remember, the trivia question is, and I want to have a new record of so many people. I want to have so many people participating. Name at least 10 Queen videos that Rudi directed, or Queen related videos. By that I mean solo videos for Brian, Roger, and Freddie. If you are able to name 10, which shouldn't be too difficult because you can research, I will draw 3 winners out of that. And if you have more than 10, maybe there is one person who knows even all the 32. Here is again the list. It really is 32 videos. I mean, I couldn't believe it when I first made this list some time ago. But everybody with more than 10 comes into a special pot. And for that, you will get also a special memorabilia. Don't forget our award, or the idea, and what you're winning is a personal postcard of Rudi. Most of them are from Miami. You can actually then even tell me if you want a Miami one or another one. And I'm writing it really nicely, which with a memorabilia, love and respect, maybe some drawing, depending on how I feel. And those special winner, which is a 4th winner, gets something like this, where of course inside you will have something which you actually, if you want, can really frame. So that was the reason why I postponed it, because I want to give many people the chance to actually do it, participate. But now we are starting. So, of course, the more videos I talk about today, the bigger your chances that you are, or that I'm naming, that you are in the second pot, which gets the super prize. Although also my postcards are, because they come with, you know, special stamps. I showed it last week, and everyone different, you know, not always the same stamps. I take a lot of care. It's like a little piece of art. So the more videos I talk about or I name, the higher is the chance that some of you will know more than 10 Rudi videos for Queen. Because quite a few are obvious. You know, a few videos, you know, I don't have to name them. And I feel a little bit like my favorite teacher in high school, who was a really nice guy. His family name was Sames. He was also the headmaster, and he was had math. He had, and I was never good in mathematics. That's why I'm not rich. No, I'm just kidding. I'm rich in adventures, and I'm rich in memories, and I'm rich in a rich life, and I'm rich because of my 2 wonderful sons, Benjamin and Reuben. But he sometimes, a day before we had a test, came into the classroom and said, you know, are you prepared? Are you prepared? You know, for tomorrow we have the big test. And then, you know, when you come closer and closer to the end of high school, it gets, especially with math. And I also had, of course, languages and other things, and Latin. I was learning Latin in school. He said, are you prepared? And they said, yeah. Everybody was nervous, of course. Then he went to the front and said, well, if, for example, and then he was writing something, if it says, do this and that and this and that, you know, would you know how to do this? And then he asked one of the good guys who always knew all the answers. So, okay, I'm not supposed to do this. And then he was keep putting it away. So in other words, he was helping us a little bit. So this is how I feel, helping you now a little bit, sort of with getting more than 10 Rudi videos. And if you have already submitted the 10, you can resubmit. You know, it all goes as email to backstage.trivia@gmail.com. Backstage.trivia@gmail.com. So I thought I start with one which you probably don't even know. And I start with what I call Queen-related video. It's produced by Brian May, also performed with Brian May, and it's a video of Anita Dobson and Brian May. It's called Talking of Love. And if I'm not mistaken, it was 1987, 86 or 87, more likely 87, I think. And it has a very interesting story, and it is around the video itself. Excuse me, it's the decaf. And I want to tell you about it because I, in the end, if I'm not mistaken, anyway, I'm not even sure. Well, I think it is on YouTube. Yeah, it is. I saw it the other day. So anyway, it happened like all those things happened at the time. I get a phone call, usually from Jim Beach, who says, Rudi, we want you in London. When can you come? So I came to London, and we were, as always, we had very often in those beginning, because if 87 is sort of rather early in my relationship with the band and with Brian and Freddie and Roger and John. This was, of course, a meeting where only Brian was attending and Jim, because it was a solo project of Brian. Now it's called Anita Dobson and Brian May. I'm not even sure if at the time that was the case, because delicately, and I always was not saying anything, Brian was still married to his first wife at the time. So I'm not sure, and he wanted to put out Anita in the front, so I'm not sure if, of course it was named as a producer, he played guitar and he wrote the song, most important of all. But and now I saw it, it's called Anita Dobson and Brian May, but as you know, they are together and happily so. And by the way, Brian or Anita watches this, love and respect. Anyway, the video concept was very interesting, because Talking of Love, it's clear what it's about. Yeah. At the time, it was not clear whom Brian meant, or if he meant anybody at all, because very often, as you know, songs happen, and not every song is written for a special person. So there is I was writing love poems, and sometimes it was because I loved the way, or the feeling, or the emotion of being in love, but it was not for a special woman. You can then use it if you are in love and present it and then make it into personalized, but there is art, is sometimes art for itself, or what comes out as an emotion. That's at least what I believe. So it was filmed in Vienna, but I was called to London, and we were sitting in the office, which at the time was at Pembridge Road, if I'm not mistaken, 46 was the number. And I always lived around the corner in the Pembridge Court Hotel. And I was played, the song was played to me, and so on and so on, and da-da-da. And then I came another time already with the concept. And the concept was coming from Vienna. And I don't know if, especially not here in the States or outside Europe, you might not know that. But after the Second World War, when, thank God, Hitler was defeated, who also was conquering Austria, and when the Allied forces sort of won the Second World War, many, many millions of dead people. I mean, war is never I don't like wars. I don't like when people die. One dead person is too much, regardless what it is, a war, a pandemic, whatever. But Vienna, but there were four big allies, as you remember. The Russians, who paid the biggest tribute of millions of Russians who died fighting the Nazis. Then also France, the British, and at the end also America, the USA, which probably was the decisive moment when also the United States of America joined the Allied forces. Long story short, you can look it all up in history books, but Vienna, after the Second World War, for 10 years, was a divided city in four sectors. There was a Russian sector, an American sector, a British sector, and a French sector. Because obviously all the big assets and all the big anything was in Vienna. Yeah, because all those four allies came in different parts to free Austria. Russians came, of course, from the east, and so on and so on. So it was a very special situation for 10 years. And if you wanted to go from one part into another part, you had, as it was when Germany was parted in East and West Germany, you had to have a lot of documentation. And soon after the Second World War, those allies, especially the Russians and the Americans, were not so friendly anymore. And it started what it was called the Cold War, which was not a war, but America was anti-communist and the Russian was communist. So, long story short, if you wanted to go from one sector to another, you had to have papers. Yes, you're allowed, etc., to even go and then return. So the idea was that there are two lovers, and they are in different sectors. And that problem of not being able to see each other every day, because it's a big effort to even go from one sector to the other. That was the idea. Brian and Anita loved it, I remember. And we were sitting in the office for one of the meetings, and we were presenting the concept. And the idea was to recreate Vienna for 1955, which is when then finally all the allies went out of Austria and made it really free. 45 it was freed, and 1955 they all left Austria. So that was like a feature film effort, because and we were thinking of doing it in black and white, like a feature film. And so we did amazing efforts, like, for example, you had to make sure that the whole part of where we were filming, there was no traffic coming in. So we had police that was stopping everybody, but for a whole day or for a whole night. And then we recreated, there had to be old cars, the clothing was in the 1950s, the signs was in the 1950s. We had to recreate one of those checkpoints where you go from one sector to another. And Anita was, of course, singing. And I think it's a really, really great piece of art, to be honest. Finally, it turned out really well. And I remember there was a big camera move. And we, by the way, also had a cameraman who later worked in Hollywood for many years. He was Austrian. His name was Karl Kases. He's probably not watching this show, but he still is a good friend. He also did, for example, the Falco video Genie, or a few other music videos with me. He was a great DP and cameraman. He later became a director himself. Yeah. And was doing a very famous American TV series with Chuck Norris. The Chuck Norris series for years, for many, many years, he was the director. So he made it internationally as well, and he was very talented. A lot of people come out of Vienna, I have to tell you that. Not only, classical musicians like Mozart or later Falco, also a lot of creative people in other fields. That's a different story. So that became a very interesting video. The reason why you probably don't know that I directed it was the following. And I'm saying this with all respect and to my friend and pal, Brian. I planned it to stay in the black and white. However, we had also at the time, old films. It was filmed in 35 millimeter. We also had a making of camera, which was film 16 millimeter in color. And Brian, at the final edit in London, sort of wanted then, after we actually decided at the beginning that it is a black and white video, because it was also filmed on black and white stock footage, so we couldn't make the shots color. We would have had to color it, which would have cost unbelievable amount of money. He saw the making of and was and fell in love with the colors. So you have to say, this is like when you have a painting and it's finished, and then somebody comes, and there is collaborations, and says, well, I would like to add something on that painting. So I, at the time, was very sort of, how should I say, I was not agreeing with each and every of those things. And after a few days of trying to get together, of course, Brian, who was also the producer and also also paid for the video, said, no, I want to have those color stuff in. And I didn't like that. And I was, as always, very honest. You remember, I told you the story that George Michael once wanted to do a video with me, and I didn't like his concept, and we were friends after the Freddie Mercury, friends, we knew each other, sorry. I'm not friends with George Michael. We were friendly after the Freddie Mercury tribute concert, which was one of the highlights of his career, I think, and of the tribute concert. I once said when he wanted to hire me for as director for a music video that he did after that, and I didn't like the concept. And I said, you know what? Rather join me the next time. I'm not convinced. I don't think it's good, and I don't want to do something. If my heart is not in it, I'm not good. This is still until today, So after we had sort of these discussions, I said to Brian, you know what, Brian, you have an idea of how you want. Of course, the affection that was happening between Brian and Anita also played a role. And I didn't want to interfere. So finally, when he more and more insisted to edit in the color parts, which had the disadvantage that she was never singing into the camera because it was only the making of camera. Had we known that, we could have mixed it, but the concept was different. Later, I became more flexible, to be honest. Yeah, and I also viewed it, and it's not, I had a very clear focus at the time. Today, I'm much more relaxed about things like that. Anyway, long story short, I said to Brian, you know what? Because it's now more your video, take my name off and put your name as the director or the producer of the video. And that's why you probably don't know that Talking of Love, Anita Dobson and Brian May, is actually directed by myself and my partner. That was the first one where I'm sort of helping you a little bit. Now, there's a few obvious ones which I can name because everybody knows it. You know that I did One Vision. You know that I did Friends Will Be Friends. You know that I did Breakthrough. I was talking about this in my shows. Invisible Man, Scandal, The Miracle. Pretty much clear is also Headlong, Innuendo, The Show Must Go On, I'm Going Slightly Mad, and The Last Ever, These Are the Days of Our Lives. That are sort of the easy ones because they are also released and you can probably Google it very easily. There is also, of course, other ones which are not so easy, and one of that I already told you. And I want to, first of all, there's also solo videos. I talked about Driven by You for Brian May. Now I talked about Talking of Love, which is a Brian May solo project with Anita Dobson. You know that I did solo videos for Roger. You know the three the three well-known and famous because of Freddie Mercury, famous solo videos, Living on My Own, which was my first solo video for Freddie, but also later Time. And for me, the most touching, In My Defense, after Freddie passed. So I'm giving you quite a few hints already. I haven't counted, but this might be already over 10. Anyway, because I wanted to make it easy at the beginning and invite you to participate. But there is more. And not to make it too easy, let me see if I have any stories that I haven't told yet. Of course, you want to know who's in the gorilla costume. I'm going slightly mad. I said the other day in this interview for the Italian daily newspaper Il Giorno with Massimiliano. Sorry, I always say Massimo because my favorite pizza and Italian restaurant in Vienna, the guy where we with my boys go many times is Massimo. Yeah, so but he's Massimiliano, a very famous writer, as the Italian fans of mine know. There's 3 chapters of I'm Going Slightly Mad in the book, so I cannot be the spoiler of my own book, because otherwise nobody wants to buy the book. If I told everything before, then everybody says thank you very much. Let me just say something of the book in the meantime. I just have to be sure. So, regarding the pre-orders, because of course I know that the waiting time is the waiting time. You know the website, www.myfriendfreddy.com. You know that you help me and that you encourage me, if you haven't done it already, to pre-order. But there is also another reason why it's maybe wise to spend the $10 or maybe the $15 for the VIP package, which means, as you know, for $10 you're pre-ordering my book autographed, and I really physically do it. And if it's thousands, then I will sign thousands. I learned this from my dear friend Peter Maffay, the German superstar, because it was for 3 days he was signing for his fan base, because he promised it in a fan package. For 3 days, morning to evening, he was signing his new album, so that the fans who ordered the fan package also have a real, not pressed or printed on it. Same thing with me. I will sign it and it's autographed. But for $15, you are not only getting an autographed copy of the first edition, which is also important because you're securing your copy in 11 languages. That it means if you're Italian, you can now pre-order the Italian version. If you are Russian, you can pre-order the Russian version. If you are French, you can pre-order the French version. Other languages include Hungarian, Czech, of course, English and German, Spanish. You have it all on the website, yeah? And of the first edition, because everybody involved, and as you know, there is things of the people who read it, because the 50 chapters are written. It's now in production with the visuals. Everybody thinks that the first edition will be sold out pretty quickly. So if you now pre-order, you have secured, because before it goes into the shops or on Amazon or anywhere, all that pre-ordered, they will get it first, which is another advantage. Not bad for 10 or 15 bucks. Bucks is, of course, US dollars, which is a little bit less in euros. I mean, the $10 are 9 euros something in also whatever. You can look it up. So not only that you secure, for 15, you get also a dedication. And you can choose. On the website, it says so and so many characters, and you can say what I have to write in your personal book. So if you are Massimiliano, you can even write me something in Italian or in French or in Russian if I can read it. Yeah, I mean Japanese, which is also one of the languages, is a little bit difficult because I cannot do the signs, but maybe in the English version. As I told you, I will say hello. I hope next week in Mandarin, which is, by the way, an idea by my dear friend Claire. Hi, Claire, from Melbourne, Australia, who is also in the meantime involved in this production. And a big Queen fan. So, but there's another advantage for pre-ordering now. First of all, it's limited. That means the pre-order sequence will end. It's not that forever and ever and ever you can pre. No, there will be a date, which I will announce soon, and then no more pre-orders. Full stop. Then you have to wait that it's on Amazon. You know how it is on Amazon. You know, you go on Amazon and you order the book. Like, I mean, I ordered a few books just a few days ago, and then it gives you, okay, in 1.5 months you are getting it because it's sold out already before it's even released. Yeah. So you have a secured one before it goes to Amazon. But there is a new extra, and I mentioned it, but I want to explain it in detail because people are approaching me and said, what do you mean exactly by that? Since I'm aware that the waiting time, if I would be you, and I am you, as you know, in certain regards, because I also am collecting memorabilia and everything for many, many decades, not only of Queen, but of a lot of different bands, I would be already nervous. When is the fucking book of Dolezal coming? So I want to shorten the waiting time. And what I thought, as you know, I was reading parts of the foreword already in previous shows, little bits. Also here and there, I'm reading other parts. That's just a neighbor, yeah. Other parts. He's sometimes moving furniture, yeah. And I hear it in my office. What can I say? It's great when you're writing or do something where you have to be focused all the time. But anyway. So in one or the other platforms, Insta, television, I wrote a little bit something else, but of the foreword, but not of the chapters. That's for legal reasons, yeah. But anyway, I'm going to read more of the book in a special live streaming soon. Not only the foreword complete, but also other excerpts of the book, of chapters. And they will not be free in terms of everybody can view it, but that's only for the limited group and people who were so kind and give me their trust. It's just my word, more or less, and of course a website, and you know me, yeah? Who said, okay, I'm going to pay $10 or $15 because Rudi, I trust him and I want to have this book. Only for those who pre-ordered. So that's an exclusive circle of, let's call it the pre-order friends or whatever, yeah? Or whatever you want to call it. And only those will be able to view that streaming. It's possible technically. I checked it out. I announced it already that we will do it. Soon there will be the date when that will happen. So if you haven't pre-ordered yet, the $10 will not only secure you of the first edition of your language, of the 11 languages that are to be chosen in your language, your autographed version, it not only, if you pay 15, will give you a dedication, you also will, as an exclusive circle, hear more of me reading parts of the book, which nobody else can do. And even when the book is out, yeah, and in the shops and on Amazon and wherever, in all the countries, that will not be available. So you're getting something super, super, super exclusive. And I thought that pays off a little bit for the waiting time. And depending on how quickly we now manage to get it finished, and I'm talking about this happily to talk a little bit, I might even have another idea in addition to that. But that's the good news that I wanted to explain in detail, because people said, yeah, live streaming of what and why and streaming, everybody can watch. So I hope I explained it clear. Now, because I'm always a social thinking and socially minded, not socialist, but I'm thinking of other people, empathy. And I'm thinking of people who cannot afford $10. And there is people, especially in COVID times, and when a lot of people are losing their job, and even more will probably lose their job, unfortunately. Not only here in America, but also worldwide, because until we have the virus under control, there will be no a good economy. That's clear to everybody who can count 1 and 1 is 2. 10 fans randomly will be drawn without having pre-ordered the book. That's especially for those who cannot afford the $10. So if you want to be a candidate for those 10 who can view the exclusive reading streaming limited to those who have pre-ordered the book, 10 plus people around the world will be part of that group, so that everybody has a chance, but only 10. I do, yeah? Start writing emails to this other email address, which I'm having done for these special occasions, backstage.rudyfans@gmail.com. I repeat, backstage. Then in one word, rudyfans, F-A-N-S, @gmail.com. You should know that email address. It's one of the regular ones, which has not a special. But write there and say, I please want to be a candidate for the 10 random places for Rudy's live streaming reading, the exclusive world premiere. Those guys will be the first to ever hear, apart from the insiders like my publishers, etc., and some very, very good friends hear what the book is really about, or hear excerpts of it more than just the foreword. So I mentioned that my angels, as always, have prepared. I mean, I'm mentioning now my angel. There's only one angel. I'm sorry. Oh no, I can't. I'm not allowed to say who he is. But coming to helping hands, there is, of course, my son Rudi is again the post-production supervisor, and you know that Milan Satnik is editing this for me as a favor, and my Claire Go in Melbourne. So it's international. Rudi sits in Vienna, Milan sits in the Czech Republic, Claire is in Australia. Nice time differences. I'm in Miami, and my associate producer Beth Ford is in Cleveland, Ohio. And there's a few other people which are slowly coming into the team, but those are in the moment the big help that I have in many aspects. So before I come back again to the clean videos, there's another thing that I would like to tell you about, and for that I have to make a little sip of water. I told you, well, this is, for example, a very interesting mug. The history of art. I showed it once many weeks ago. which really has for every child the characteristics of very famous painters and artists like Pollock, Picasso, etc., Monet, Dali, Da Vinci, Van Gogh, etc. And I told you last week that we are developing Doropolis, which will be a place where you can, for example, then buy t-shirts like that in different colors. This one, by the way, has a writing in the back, which you probably only can read a little bit. It says, Gute Filme sind selten, aber oft von uns. It says, gute Filme sind selten, aber oft von uns, which means Doro is uns, which means good films are rare, but often by us, which was many, many years ago quite a nice saying. I also had invented many years ago, this is going back 30 years, we shoot for the stars, which means we are grabbing for the stars, but it also means we are filming for people who are famous, etc., etc. So there's going to be a whole collection in different colors and also with quotes of famous people, etc. But also some mugs, of course, Doro or Doro TV, but also other ones which I like. Again, this is mainly for people who because people are asking me for it. I spoke about the book and the pre-order. Here is something which brings you into another exclusive circle of Rudi's world, or the Backstage world, and you don't have to pay a penny. You don't have to pay $1. You don't have to pay €1. I can herewith exclusively show the, let me just find the designs for the wonderful certificates of friendship, which are not finished but already pretty, how should I say, pretty advanced. This is now the water, I'm sorry, excuse me. Again, this is a limited offer and it's gonna be over soon. Remember, I said the first 2,500 people who are subscribing Doro TV, my YouTube channel, will get the friendship certificate. Well, we're almost there, and I haven't made any promotion in the last weeks because there was much more other things, including the packing and everything. By the way, the idea stays that I'm gonna do backstage experiences while packing and also while cooking. Yeah, it's just that the Queen videos and the other videos, it's now, once you started that, I realized how much I can say, and I don't want to do it now. And then, so it's a little bit delayed, but it's coming because I think it's funny. So we're almost there, and it's going to be limited. Soon it will be over because soon we have 2,500. So there's not a lot of spaces open, and you should do it. Because if you haven't done it, or persuade your friends to do it, because first of all, it doesn't cost any money, anything. Number two, you get a great certificate in the neighborhood of that, which is designed by Sharon Desolet. And this is only one of the many designs. I want to point out that this is a very nice symbol. It says Certificate of Friendship in gold. I will sign it here. The Doro TV will be the logo. Here is also something interesting, and that's one of my pictures, also by Sharon Desolet. That's something that she did. And there will be the Certificate of Friendship in gold, limited to the first 2,500, and no more. And since the aim is 1 million subscribers for Doro TV, and we'll get there, as I promised my mother to win a documentary Oscar, and we will get it, there will be no more gold. After that, there will be the Certificate of Friendship in silver. And later after that, sometime in the more distant future, in bronze. But the thing is that only the gold members, so to say, will be part of a group who again, like the people who pre-ordered my book, and this time for no money, will have special, how should I say in English, special services, special privileges, you know? For example, and I'm just working that out, yeah, but you can be sure that it will be very attractive. For example, when I go on around the world for my book tour, which will be end of 2020 if Corona allows it, but definitely 2021. Then this will be for invitation, and I'm not sure whether the certain organizers will ask for money or not as an entrance. We're not that far yet. But what I know is the gold certificate of friendship holders will get a backstage pass, which might look like this. Again, this is Sharon Desolate. Friends will be friends, or this. And it's not quite finished. And with this, you will be allowed as backstage in the special backstage area where you will experience different things than what the general public will experience. That's just one of the many things. Also, when then later a still secret project will see the light of day again, you will come into the so-called backstage because the 2,500 are all over the world. I mean, the other day I'm always bad if I don't have it written down, but we're talking America, we're talking Canada, we're talking Mexico, we're talking Middle America like Costa Rica. People are already, have subscribed to Doro TV. We're talking, of course, South America, like Brazil, Argentina, Colombia, South Africa, Chile, etc. Please forgive me, I'm forgetting it. Then we are talking of African countries like South Africa or Kenya or Morocco. We're talking, of course, practically all the European countries. I'm not even sure if there's one European country. It's even Malta and Cyprus. People from Malta and Cyprus have made the subscription for Doro TV. But of course, Germany, Austria, Switzerland, the UK, Scandinavia, Sweden, Denmark, Norway, and Finland. Then, of course, Denmark, Poland, the Czech Republic, Russia, etc., etc. Going to China, going to India. All people from all over this one are getting those already. So it's not that it's 2,500 in the bulk. So you will be a very special person at Rudi Dolezal's worldwide book tour in 2021. So you should think about it, or you should tell your friends, you really should, even if you don't watch it, get it, because then you get this. So I think it's worth it. And as I always told you, that whatever I come up with, it's usually some good stuff in it. So now slowly the different designs, which are not yet final, but they are almost there. Sometimes they only vary a little bit. As I said, there will be the Doro logo on here. Here will be a signature of mine, and I'm talking an original signature. There's also this, and there is this. And then what will become the gold backstage pass? I mean, you keep this forever as a memorabilia, darlings. It will look like this. We're saying friends will be friends. And, or like this. Well, this will be more like that. Yeah. And you see, one is, for example, called "To a Very Loyal Fan of Rudi and His Projects." Another one is called "To One of the First Supporters of Doro TV." That's the one I'm talking. but also for supporters of projects in the future. But Doro TV is a project. So, and also for another privilege, once a month for the gold members, without paying anything, without doing anything, you will participate in drawings that were things like this. You can win. Because as I told you earlier, sometimes I have even more than one of that, mostly three as a director, producer, and the company. People also say I should sell it on my page. I'm not sure if I'm doing that, but what I do know is that some of the ones are one of the award prizes that you can win only if you subscribe on YouTube, Rudi Dolezal's Doro TV. So, and that's just a little part of the privileges which I will come up with soon more. Now, I wanted to, yes, have this on top. Sharon Desolate will meet, by the way, next week. We will have a meeting. I don't know when exactly. We'll have a meeting and we finalize it so that you will be able to see pretty soon the final version or the final designs. And I'm very, very thankful and very proud that she's part of that. As, by the way, artists like Sharon Desolate, but also Crystal Pieri, or also Barbara Boffa, you know, these are just some of my favorites. There's also more, but I can't name them all. Actually, I can name more. And there will also be, some of them will be involved in the visual aspect of my book. I'm not telling you more, but well, why not? You know that there is the virtual gallery again on my YouTube channel on Rudi Dolezal's Doro TV, where I'm having artist features, but also Art Rudi Art, which goes on. Even if this is now a talk show, we are adding permanently new items and little films on it. And I wanna name a few artists who are part of the virtual gallery. And please excuse me if the names are not all pronounced correctly. Floria Rosanna Beseghini, I never get it. She makes these great cartoons. Sharon Desolate, DJ Moore from Canada, also a fantastic artist. Barbara Boffa, Crystal Pieri, Natalia Sidorova from Moscow, Russia, Saint Ipek from Istanbul, Turkey, Donna Coccovizio from Italy, Agustina Pileri from Italy, Maria Lippingson from Mexico, Mukta Sakpal from India, but also Amélie Lopez from France, Petra Probst from Austria, yeah, for example, yeah, and many, many others. And please, if more, there's new ones being added soon, like Eva Tauchen from Austria, and also others. Please, you know, if you know a great artist, if you see anything that you think is good for the gallery, it doesn't cost anything. I put them on. The artist feature usually has a contact, so people are actually selling their art because they are on my shows or in the virtual gallery. Okay, darlings, you see how quickly an hour goes? I mean, I thank you that you are, again, my guests. And I hope you liked the Anita Dobson, Brian May story, which was run. And as you know, go on. Go for the 32. I mean, I would think of something super special if anybody has 30, 31, or 32 of Rudi's screen videos, I tell you. So try to be the one. As Freddie always said, go for the impossible, please. Surprise me. Yeah, I cannot give you more hints. I was already as my teacher. And don't forget, in the trivia, there's great awards. I say thank you very much for being my guest again. I hope you liked it. And please stay safe. Do not listen too much to politicians. Do more listen to scientists and what is proven. I am now an expert on coronavirus because I survived 7 months in one of the epicenters of the pandemic. I hope it's over soon, but it's not going to be over that soon. Don't fool yourself. I think it's gonna last until the end of 2021. Seriously, that's my guess. I hope it's earlier, but I don't think so. It's just not realistic. And compare it with AIDS and the HIV virus. And we don't even have a vaccine today. And remember when Freddie died. So I say thank you very much. Thanks for being my guest. Stay safe. Stay human, because this is a very inhuman virus. Feel for other people. Everybody who dies is too much. And I say thank you very much and love and respect. I'm so happy that I have so many followers around the world. And to each and every one of you, I say thank you very much. I love you all, and I thank you for being interested in my work. I'm just a music filmmaker, but I made quite a few quite interesting things in my life. Love and respect.
You wanna know what goes on backstage? Oh, come on. Let me take you by the hand. Ow!
Rudi, are you ready?
Ladies and gentlemen,
The way I see it, Barry, this should be a very dynamite show.
You know, I have no idea what the name of this program is, but you're watching it.
Backstage,
All you ever want,
backstage,
all you ever need.
backstage.
Your dreams will be fulfilled once you are there. You'll never wanna leave. You wanna sell your ass for that backstage pass. Backstage is just for the invited.